Hello everybody, Sifd here again with another Soulstone Survivors run, and today we're gonna be doing the Apocalypse build, or at least that's the idea here. And what that is there is a skill in this game that looks like the Apocalypse skill of Diablo. It's called like Flame Pearl or Lava Pillar or something, and it just puts an explosion on it, just explodes. And that's the idea, we're gonna just fill the void with explosions. Now for runes, we're gonna of course go with singular focus, that we can do that, we can get the same skill 4, 5, 6 times. Then we're gonna go with real mastery so I can control the build a bit better, and of course we're gonna go with multicast mastery because, as I said, I want to fill the void with explosions and eruptions and everything. So this is how you do it, at least in my opinion, right? Now the build itself might not be the most powerful build in existence. We have some builds for that. Hopefully some kind of card is gonna appear top right where I have just a broken build, but it's gonna be a fun build where we're gonna just fill the void with explosions, and we're gonna see how deep into endless we can get. I'm waiting here just to fill this up because why not get 2 levels at the same time? Lucky. First of all, we get luck. Actually, now we're gonna get multicast or other means. Let's get XP in here, and smite. That could also make sense. Like maybe it's gonna be smiting and also exploding. Could maybe be a thing. Anyway, let's try to get what I actually want to get though. Fire pillar. This is it. This is the build. So summons a pillar of fire pillar at random enemy positions, dealing almost no damage. I'm applying melting, which is a really good debuff, reducing armor by 15 and melting them for 750 damage, which of course is really, here it is. What an awesome explosion, am I right? Like we're gonna get this skill 6 times. It's gonna be like pop, pop, pop. Look at this, man. It's just gonna be an apocalypse, literally. Let's go with crit chance damage. Crit damage is what that was, by the way. I don't know why I'm mixing things up for no reason, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's continue going around. Now, of course, I would like to get a Bloodlust. Does this guy actually get Bloodlust? I don't even know if he... No, he definitely has access to Chaos Spell, so that's for certain. I saw him previously have the Chaos Claw or whatever that thing was. So at least we have that for sure. Look at this, the red numbers from the flame and the melting explosion level up. His might is very similar. Series only one type, don't forget this might then. Yeah, what's the type it shares? Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Reroll. I guess it was burst or fire pillar. Let's go. I found a second one. And we're finding arcane power here as his buff. So we definitely might want arcane power instead of chaos, whatever it's called. Fire pillar. Let's go. Instead of, why is my mind stuck right now? Instead of bloodlust is what I tried to say. And now we got 2 fire pillars level up. This is definitely banish, and unbelievable what we got, a 50% damage increase on magical, which is insane. Multicast of course is more fun, but the fact that we got this 50% damage this early, I'm gonna definitely get the armor here. Do I want to banish the ice? Honestly, I'm not really sure about it yet. Maybe I want 1 ice. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with full on every single debuff so I can apply it, or if I shouldn't. I think I should go for every single debuff is applied. I think. We're not gonna get the level right now because if it gives us a level, I would prefer it to be level 10, so I have 1 more reroll. So we're gonna keep that level. I'm not exactly sure when you get levels and when you get skills and when you get passives only. But you know, just for safety's sake, we're gonna go with let's wait for the next level. So we get that reroll guaranteed. And now that I got the level, it was a skill, none of these. A light beam, wouldn't that be nice? Arcane shield would be nice. Give me at least a buff. Okay, at least I got a buff, so let's get Arcane Vortex. I'm gonna say we will take Relentless. Even that 5% is worth it, especially if you try to make the buffs permanent. So that's nice. Honestly, I could go for a crazy Arcane buff build. Potency on the Arcane Potency. By the way, oh, Arcane Power. Well, I failed. Let's go with cooldown, actually. I'm not sure if we're gonna stay with Arcane Power, because honestly speaking, I would prefer having Chaos Bloodlust for buffs and not actually Arcane Powers. So let's wait for it a moment. We're gonna once again wait for us to get to level 15, so we get at least 1 reroll, and we're gonna do our prayers again for at least a buff minimum, right? At least a buff, any buff. It's gonna be better than a random skill. So let's see what we get. The fire pillar right away. Best thing we could have possibly gotten. Vicious strike. You know what? If I take this, theoretically I don't need to go into crit build. Theoretically. But practically speaking, I will go into a crit build. So let's get a 10% movement speed. Let's get a bit of armor. And here it's gonna be the real, at least give me a buff, thank you very much. And it is a fire pillar actually. You see, if you expect something mediocre, you at least can have some kind of, it was better than the mediocre thing, or it was worse than the mediocre thing. And it was actually better. You know, leave a little wiggle room, request the lower thing and get the higher. I guess everybody can, I guess, force or try to force their luck by saying whatever they want. Anyway, let's go with a magnet, I would say. It's a bit more important for me to level up and have fun here, not specifically to survive at the end. Let's go, explosions! I want this apocalypse thing to become a lot more crazy. And none of these, honestly. Area on one of the flames. I'm gonna go cooldown. Area on one of the flames. It's irrelevant, man. You might say 45% area is a lot, but yeah, do you know how much area you get if I ever roll, you know, fire skills get more area or area skills get more area? 40% on all of them. So why would I invest into one of them? 10% attack speed, very nice. Attack speed is a lot more important for the apocalypse idea that I want to get going, so that is the go-to plan for me, especially if I want to maintain permanent buffs. Level up. None of these, to be honest. Maybe I'm gonna take the flame just to apply burn. Yeah, let's take the flame right now, just apply burn. Later I can banish it, maybe. We're gonna see. Because right now we're not really applying flame, we're only applying melting. So, there's that, I guess. Level up, and we got the buff. Okay, we got the buff. At least we can throw away the fire missile, maybe. But honestly, do I even want arcane power? I'm not really sure. It's definitely better than firing missile. So let's take this, throw away the firing missile. At least in my mind it's better, right? Like, it's not actually better. But at least now we're gonna have a bunch of multicast going on. Let's get magnetic. Let's get even more multicast for everything. I saw the potency on the buff. I'm still not exactly sure if we're gonna stick with this. Does this guy even find... Oh. No. Does this guy even find... Yeah, right now I'm not really sure if he even finds chaos spells. My memory is very mediocre. So thinking it through, I'm most likely gonna stick to 2 arcane powers. I think 2 arcane powers is... better. 2 arcane powers and 4 fire pillars is better than 3 arcane powers and 3 fire pillars. So there's that, I guess. Let's get the poison and maybe later banish it. Okay, we're fighting might here. None of these, to be honest, but actually let's banish ice, right? Did I take ice? I didn't take ice. Let's take ice so I later can banish it, because we only take ice once in this channel. So let's do that. And why not just apply a bunch of debuffs on opponents? Other than the fact that I'm tired of seeing a bunch of debuffs on opponents. Let's see all these. 24 armor, very nice. We're gonna take that, of course. I should have banished poison. Also definitely gonna banish ice. Level up. Poison applies doom. Might as well take this. I mean, that was the purpose of getting all those debuffs in the first place, right? That those combo things are good. Fire pillars here. I don't think I want 6 fire pillars. I do want to get this crazy multicast, especially with the rune we got, right? So let's say the build is done. Let's go with Doom applies Dazed, because why not? Dazed makes it so that we can crit opponents easier. So that always helps, you know. And let's continue with Explosion. RS frequency, no. Let's go with Cooldown once again. Cooldown is really important until I get Arcane Power to be permanent. 15% area, that's also decent-ish, not really that good. Bloodlust is here. This guy has Bloodlust. So I'm gonna transition over into a Bloodlust build now, because in my opinion, casting more often with Bloodlust and also having movement speed is definitely better than multicasting. Right? Because at the end of the day, what is better? Casting a spell with a 4-second cooldown 3 times, or casting the same spell once every 1.5 seconds, right? Because it achieves the same thing, with the difference being that if the cooldown of the spell is 1.5 seconds, then it might multicast still, right? Like, the multicast buff doesn't give me attack speed, but the attack speed buff still allows me to have multicast, right? Getting attack speed in this game is a lot harder than getting multicast. You can easily get a 40 or 60% multicast buff for free. By the way, I could theoretically just keep 1 and 1, but honestly, why would I keep 1 and 1 if the one of the two is just straight up better? In my opinion, Bloodlust is just straight up better. Casting more often is the play, none of these. Area on one of them. No, let's get Doom and then banish it too. So we got Doom, Fire, and Poison to banish. So this is the Fire to banish. Bye-bye. Let's get 5% cooldown once again. We want to make, you know, Bloodlust and Arcane Power permanent, as we always do. Level up, of course, cooldown once again. 5%, it slowly masses, you know, it slowly goes up. We fly. Now, I don't think this build is, I mean, you know what, let's not talk about what the build is and isn't. Area on lasting, this is completely useless, so we're gonna reroll these. None of these, to be honest, and this is actually extremely good. Damage on magic, wait a minute. Oh, this is physical. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. 100% multicast. Yeah, but how much multicast do I even need, right? I still believe that it's better to go with attack speed, even though I have another single buff on it. Multicast on area, well, that's really good for our Pilar fill. But as you saw, right now we just got 36 permanent multicast right there. Potency on Bloodlust, that's a definite yes. I'm going into Bloodlust build. I'm not gonna think about it anymore. I decided it's a Bloodlust build. It's just straight up better. Let's continue. Potency on the Bloodlust, that's always a yes. I should have banished the poison, by the way. I should have definitely banished the poison. Boom, 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 boom. Look at this, 240 melting, 270, 30, 300 melting. You're dead, man. Damage on burst, very nice. Guess what's a burst skill? All of my attacks. Very nice, very nice. I mean, if you read damage, you just pick it up no matter what it is. If it says damage on some kind of category that you have in your build, you just take it. Because it's gonna hit, even if it hits buffs, it's still potency, so it's just good. If it says everything, you get it. Level up, none of these to be honest. Area on magical, we're gonna take it of course for the pillars, not for the stupid arcane power. But I mean, arcane power isn't stupid. The area is already huge. The area, we already are blind to what is happening. And it's gonna become a lot more chaotic. And that's what I want, chaos. Chaos control. Very edgy and cringe. Let's reroll these. 10% crit chance. What's my crit chance at? 50. Okay, classic case of crit chance never rises. Oh man, oh man. Obviously, photo epilepsy warning here, because as I can see here, a bit of madness is happening. Let's be serious. Let's get magnetic. You are banished material. Magnetic. I don't care of surviving. This run is definitely not about us surviving. This run is about us covering the screen with explosions. That is the plan right now. Just exploding all the place, all over the place. Oh, avoid. Dash away. Continue doing what you can. Level up. No, ooh, Arcane Conjunction. I would also like to do a build like this with Arcane Conjunction. Crit supply, bleed, whatever. Might as well. And in a bit we're gonna get bleed, apply, poison or something, right? Is this a Gagrana? No, this is Bull Strikes. Yeah, Gagrana is that, I guess, festering. So theoretically, not frequency, no, not really. Let's roll these. Area on empowering, the most useless thing. Let's get 5% attack speed. Once again, attack speed being the hardest thing to actually gather. Although with a couple of 20% attack speed rolls, we're gonna easily, you know, quickly get up on those buffs that we so much desire. Now we got this arcane power buff. Now the multicasts begin. Oh man, the multicasts do actually chain. It's awesome. Damage on area, very nice. That also applies bloodless and arcane power. Maybe I should leave them half and half. Yeah, maybe I should go with 1 and 1 to be honest. Yeah, maybe the mix is the play. Especially because I have this, right? Especially because I have multicast chain longer or whatever. But I don't know still. Give me a second. So 2.9 seconds when we're under... Wait, when we're under that, we're 2.9 second cooldown. Are you serious right now? Otherwise we're how much? How much are we without the bloodlust? 4.2. 2.9, 4.2. That's almost double attack speed, man. I believe that bloodlust is the play, man. Double attack speed's definitely more worth it. Level up. None of these, to be honest. Area on area. We're gonna definitely take this. And we're gonna also take the 30 max life. Because honestly, small hits is definitely not what's gonna kill us. Famous last words, of course, but, you know, I actually believe those words. What's my damage up, by the way? 1,650. Pretty good, pretty good. Of course, we don't really have any burst. 5% attack speed. Area on empowering. Stop giving me area on empowering. Let's go 2.8 second casting. Yeah, this is definitely better. The difference is just straight up huge. It's just raining explosions when bloodlust is active. Let's go. And now it's just doing chain reactions or whatever. Avoid. Level up. Alright, let's go back to arcane power. None of these. And let's actually also banish venomous. Let's reroll these. Bloodlust, thank you very much. We're gonna throw that away. And the build is ready. And let's go see 2.3 second when both are active. Wait a minute. This might not have been worth it. Wait a minute. This might have been a mistake. Damage on fire. We're gonna definitely take this. I don't even need to think about it. As I said, if it says damage, you pick it up. Be that for the bloodlust, be that for the fire pillar. It doesn't really matter. Just take it. Explosions. Man, oh man. I'm expecting these things to just amass power at some point. Give us like 200% attack speed. Not attack speed, actually. Yeah, attack speed. Hey, look, we're getting lasered down. Sifd be like, we're not gonna get trickled down. No, we're not gonna die from trickle damage. No, definitely not. 8 minutes into the run, level up. Frequency on bloodlust, never. That's good, 10% attack speed. Never get frequency on any buff, by the way, at least in my opinion. Because you, at some point, you know, earlier or later, you will get the buff to be permanent anyway. And they don't stack. Like, if you get a buff to have a 1 second cooldown, it doesn't do anything. Let's go here, multicast and burst. Nice, we got our multicast right there. Boom, 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 boom. Look at this chain reaction. Look at this chain reaction. Uh-oh. I'm staying in the middle of my damage on burst. Very nice. 2050. Nice. And also, let's not forget it applies melting, therefore it makes opponents have less armor. So the more it hits, the better. Now the melting part doesn't scale, like it does always 15, and I don't even know what 15 armor means for opponents. I don't have any concept of that. I don't think anybody does unless it says it somewhere. Level up. Or unless you read it somewhere, 50% area, very nice. Let's continue with not seeing anything. Can I get a 48% area legendary on my burst skills? That would be nice. Or my area skills, you know, area for area. Hashtag area for area. Let's do a big circle. By the way, I'm doing corner strat, so we can definitely enter endless, because this build isn't that fast otherwise. Level up, none of these. Multicast one of those pillars, yes, 48%. Why not? Why not? Let's continue going in loops. Let's see how this is gonna go. Whoop, here we go. Man, I love this. I love the fire pillars. Look at this. It's actually a lot bigger than what I thought it was. I thought these were a lot smaller, but man, better huge. I love them. I love them being so huge, just destroying everything on site. Some burn damage. Let's see how the boss is gonna fare. Is it Kaethas? It is Kaethas. Wow, how did it happen? I mean, you could say that some kind of, you know, the side of my eye was able to take the name in. Or something. I don't know, something definitely triggered me into saying Kaethas. Now you're definitely gonna say, you just looked up, but no, whatever. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. There is no reason to try to say that I read it somehow with the eye of the, whatever. I'm getting stuck on stupid things. And here we got Kaethas, very nice. And off we go into the true endless as we got it time-wise. We're gonna go Days gives us burn. And off into the Apocalypse, which we actually generate, right? 17 seconds on these. Question, how successful run is going to be happening if the Bloodlust skills becomes permanent, right? If we have a permanent Bloodlust combo here, then we're good to go. Explosion everywhere. Everything burns down very slowly though, because yeah, actually no, not slowly. After like 50 explosions hit something, after 1 or 2 ticks, they're gone. Level up, none of these. Level up. Actually, these are mediocre. Level up. Oh, these are even less mediocre. Let's go with 12% crit damage. I don't know. I think I have 50% crit chance, right? Yeah. So that was a 6% damage pretty much. Let's get the movement speed so I can also pick up a Leviathan if I find again without thinking about it not being a good idea. Here we go. Damage on magical, which could have been even more multicast. But even though I still believe that it's better. From 4 seconds, it's gonna go down to 2.2 or something, right? Multicast 60%. Yeah, let's take it. And it's gonna go down to 2.3. Okay, okay. I'll level up. Let's go Behemoth. Let's go Behemoth. Maybe I should go multicast. Maybe I should rotate back into the previous build. Right? 56 and 80. Yeah, maybe I should change the 56er into an arcane. I know I threw away a level pretty much if I do that, but I'm so doubtful of myself. I'm gonna take a decision and then I guess 10 minutes later I'm like, I'm not sure. Should I still keep the decision I made 10 minutes before? Because I don't know. I need to see, right? Seeing is believing is my mindset. So like I need to see, okay, it's better with arcane, the arcane buff, and then okay, it's actually better with multicast. Okay, it's actually better with the bloodlust. Actually better with arcane again. I need to see it. If I could just quick swap, like if I had like a secondary swap here and then be like boom boom, change the skills, like keep a skill at the side to test out things, that would be cool, wouldn't it? I think it would. I mean, my decision, my opinion. Sifd be like, I want a bunch of quality of life in all my games I play. Let's continue on. Let's see what we can get here. Actually, it's going pretty multicast 100%. I would say mediocre. I would say mediocre, yes. I would actually say it feels like it's going pretty mediocre. Level up, let's get 10% crit chance. Yeah, let's maybe actually try to transition over into half Bloodlust, half Arcane build. Let's try that again. Area of Effect on Chaos, completely useless. Let's reroll this. Of these, 24% crit damage, why not? Dashing through here. Apocalypse! Boom, 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 boom! Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Although, honestly speaking, I shouldn't reroll already. Because, Sifd being like changed his opinions after a while. I shouldn't reroll already because the thing is that when Bloodlust will get down to 10-second cooldown, then Fire Pillar is gonna be baseline cooldown 2 seconds. Therefore, with the Bloodlust, it's gonna be something like 1 second cooldown, right? Damage on Chaos, very nice. And when it's gonna be 1 second cooldown, then we're gonna actually see the madness. Area on Burst. We take those. Movement speed buff because of the Bloodlust. And yeah, Apocalypse continues. Let's see what we get. I guess Unbreakable. Yeah, definitely Unbreakable. That's what we're gonna be. You can, yeah, believe it. We're gonna definitely be Unbreakable. You can believe it. Let's explode all around. By the way, after yesterday's talk, Gagger and I knew it. Well, that's what's the name because I know what the word means. Yeah, yesterday I was talking about a bunch of random things, damage on whatever, doesn't even matter. If it says damage, you take it. Yeah, hopefully a card's gonna appear at the top right about yesterday's run. It was like the 1,000 hours run or whatever. And yeah, yesterday I was talking about random things on the Steam, on the... Yeah, in the recording. How can I say this? And somebody told me in my Discord, let's go with damage actually. Yeah, I should start the podcast. Man, I'm so close to actually starting the podcast. I'm like just so close. The only thing I really need is to maybe find a person that's willing to talk in English for an extended period of time about, I guess, a lot of random things. I don't know, maybe I should set it up. Maybe I should find somebody. Maybe I should find somebody that wants to do a podcast. Multicast on area. Well, we take this. 36% multicast. At this point, my multicast is already at 108%. So whatever the buff would have given us is... Look how often we're shooting here. Wow. This is just huge. It's just huge, man. It looks huge. It is insane. I love it. Like the fact how explosions happen. I just love it. How it always like boom, 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 boom. And none of these. We all expose ring is very nice. Now we apply a bunch of debuffs. That was literally the best buff we could have gotten, possibly gotten, because we are a debuff build. So having the chance to double your debuffs, area on burst, we take those. I don't want to be able to see anything. I just want to be boom, 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 boom. Yeah, apocalypse here. Full screen. Potency on one of those, definitely yes. Continue giving us attack speed from 4.1 seconds down to 1.8. Boom, boom, boom. Again. Yeah, this was definitely the choice. Reroll. Area on it. No, let's go 20% movement speed. No. Let's just get the movement speed. Whoa, the lag spike. Love it. Imagine my PC exploding now. Level up. Damage. We shoot. You see damage, you take damage. Dash through. Maybe it was successful. I think it was actually successful. What happened? Oh, we lost our... yeah, we lost our attack speed buff. Let's go with frailty. Why not? We are attacking pretty often, and all of our hits hit anyway. That's another 3% damage right there. Explode everything and everything. Everything and everything. Everything and everything. I don't even know what I'm talking about, man. Sometimes. Boom, 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 boom. Very nice. Easy win here. Let's continue. Let's see what we can get. Damage on one of them. Let's go with armor. We're gonna become a super tank. I take back the fact that we're not gonna go deep into Endless. They're most likely gonna try to die in Endless too, but we're gonna see. Not actually try, but you know, when opponents don't die, like let's try to brute force damage on Chaos. Very nice. Even more frequency from 1.8 seconds, I think. Now 1.7. It might have been 1.7 previously too, by the way. Just because I said it was... Wow, my eyes are starting to strain. My eyes are actually starting to strain here. Let's see what this looks like with lower settings, just to see. You know, just to see. Maybe mediocre settings. Yeah, this doesn't do anything anyway, so might as well go for full on, all in. Might as well not be able to see, right? Might as well not be able to see. Just so stupid. Wait. Avoid. Burn them down. Level up. None of these. Even more movement speed. What is this? Gas. I'm Sonic. Gotta go fast. And we get even more 72% movement speed from this. And another 54 from this. Yeah. Multicast, one of those pillars. Of course. So which one of them is it? This one. 168, 156. Yeah, these buffs are gonna most likely swap. So let's hope that next wave we're gonna have one of the pillars have all the buffs. Oh, the spin to win guy is here. Alexis or whatever he's called. Alpha Red. Yeah, it's Alpha Red. So Alpha Red is the one that does the spin to win. Good to know. Multicast everything. Why not? 16%. Decent-ish. Let's go closer. Let's go. We just triggered the Bloodlust buff. So look at this. 1,000 stacks of melting. Bye-bye, both of you guys. Yeah, 1,700. You're toast, man. Forget it, Alexi. Another Bloodlust. Let's go. Swift. Yes, why not? Defense. Defense is always a decent option, especially when I don't have good movement speed, because I don't have Bloodlust that gives crazy movement speed. I haven't picked up a bunch of movement speed passives. No, that's not a thing. Damage, on whatever, we just take it. 285. 285. 285 what? Tens. 285 tens, guys. 2800 is what I'd say, but I guess I just completely failed at it. Let's roll these. Area on burst, we take those. I don't want to see the screen. I don't want to see the screen. I want to make it look like everything is covered with explosions all the time. I'm really funky today with singing. I don't know. It is what it is. So yeah, about the podcast. I'm thinking about actually making it happen. I'm not sure if I want to face reveal, like, because I was thinking, I mean, this is once again, Sifd throws an idea out there, might happen, might not. I was thinking about doing like a face reveal at 100k, but I don't really want to do a face reveal like Smiled It. I don't want to be like, hey, this is me, no, I want to like combine it with something. I want to make it meaningful. I don't want to make it an event or anything. I just want to make it other than, you know, hey guys, it's 100k subs, you know, I actually want to have a reason for it. And I think like combining it with some kind of podcast or some kind of, you know, something, right, would make more sense, to be honest. Like maybe Q&A plus podcast plus face reveal, like everything together, maybe something like this. I don't know, man. It's very, you know, hazy in my mind of how exactly it might happen, will happen, we will see. But I definitely, you know, I do want to start something where I just expose. I expose my opinions to the world. That's a sentence that makes sense. Yeah, like, put out my opinion. I don't know, man. I even wanted to do some kind of philosophical / opinionated videos, right? Those edited things where the editing is pretty much, you see pictures in the background and people just talk about things, right? Like a concept about a thing, like gaming or like addiction or, you know, any of those type of things. I mean, gaming and addiction would be the same topic. Whatever, you know, whatever. But yeah, I was thinking about doing something like that. And if I was gonna do something like that, I think that's how I was thinking about doing the face reveal. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm gonna see. I really need to put my mind into some, you know, some things to do. And at the end of the day, I also want to, not want to, but right now it's Christmas is incoming, so I very much, you know that a bunch of things are gonna happen in Christmas, right? People are gonna start going out, people are gonna start calling me to go to places to do things, right? I'm a very, very, very crazy ski enthusiast right now, or fanatic, or whatever you wanna call me, crazy guy. Not that I'm good at it, not that I have gone a bunch of times, but I have just decided that right now, at this moment in my life, it's the most awesome thing I can possibly do, and I'm just having extremely fun with it. And you know, it's coming, it's incoming, the ski season is incoming, and you know who's gonna be every single time, you know, asked for going with friends over there skiing? It's me. I'm not asked, but you know, maybe they're not gonna call me all the time, right? But I'm the one that has been telling them for the last 3 months, guys, we're gonna go ski. So, right now I'm like, I have about 5 to 7, somewhere around there, 5 to 7 different groups of friends that we have set up to, yeah, we have said that, okay, we're gonna do some kind of expedition skiing, right? Like, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's definitely 5 to 7, yeah, definitely somewhere around there. Like, yo said we're gonna go skiing, right? Yeah, we're gonna go. You actually schedule it. Tell me about it 3 to 5 days before, so that I can have all my videos ready, so I don't come back from skiing and I'm like borderline not able to move and then also not able to shoot a video, right? And then I'm gonna just make sure we're ready and we're going. So, you know, if that thing will start happening, then, as you understand, starting a new project and, you know, getting editing done and just having to deal with a bunch of new ideas and things and new channels and whatnot, and also face reveal incoming, yeah, you know, all of these things together. You know, a bit too many things on my plate at the same time. We don't want to burn out, right? Nobody wants to burn out of this channel or of YouTubing, so that's what I'm also trying to avoid, right? I'm trying to, you know, slowly at a time, don't overdo it. By the way, obviously nothing is visible here. You know what, let's at least be able to see something, right? Let's at least be able to see something. Just have the explosions going on. Yeah, you need, at least now we can see the explosions, right? So... yeah, I think that's it. And I also want to do merchandise, which I wanted to do merchandise, I don't know, 10 days ago, and now it fell off to the wayside again, because that's who I am. I do not forget, but I do allow things to, I guess, not be done instantly. How can I say this? Like, I swap, not ideas, but I guess priorities. I'm a very, very heavy priority swapper person, which is, of course, bad. I should start something and finish it, you know. But I guess, I don't know, I'm gonna just throw out and say, I'm not good at it, man. I'm not good at starting something and finishing. I need a person to be like, yo, I'm doing it. Like, I need somebody to do everything for me, so to speak. and then I can give it the okay. That sounds like extremely childish. But what I mean to say is like I work better with a team that everybody is good at doing something, and I'm definitely not good at designing merchandising. So right now I'm like, okay, I need a couple of people to design my merchandise, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, I like this, I don't like this, let's change this, let's change that, but otherwise I enjoy the overall thing. You know, I'm gonna be like, okay, from these 20 t-shirts you gave me, I enjoy these 5, let's make them into merchandise. Or if you want to change those 10 into something maybe else, I'm gonna, you know, go with it, right? Like I'm that kind of person. I guess more of an executive style, so to speak. I don't know if this is childish or if this is bad or whatever, but this is my style, okay? This is how I function. I have an idea, and then I just bounce the idea around with friends and people and family and whatnot, and then they try to help me, and I just pull through, right? I am the one that is, you know, like, let's go, guys, let's do it. Let's go, guys, let's do it. Exponents, but I'm not good at doing it myself. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. I guess anybody who knows about personalities, ESTP is the play. So, whatever. Whoever got it, got it. Let's reroll. Let's reroll again. 5% attack speed. The buff is still at 15-second cooldown. Potency on one of them, very nice. My attack speed at this point. Oh, did the multicast amass on one of them? No, they didn't. Well, it doesn't really matter. 1.4% cooldown. Look at this. Look how it looks when I have a bloodlust buff. It's like boom, 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 boom. So, yeah, I mean, that is pretty much the up and up of my life and plans with channel, you know, and all the rest of the things. Man, you know what? About the merchandising, by the way, I was trying to see exactly what to do with prices, like the cheapest prices possible for people. Because right now, my plan is not actually to be like, oh, we're gonna do merchandise and make money out of it. I mean, that is also part of it, right? But I am honest. I'm always gonna be honest with everything I'm doing. I don't enjoy being like, whoo, guys. No, I'm honest always, right? But I try to have them as cheap as possible. Because I was thinking that's also something we're looking up, and this is also something that made us, you know, take, well, as you understand, 10 days, and we're still going. It's still not ready. Let's go with damage on whatever. So, yeah, the reason is because, man, right now I'm like in a giggly mood, so to speak, or like a childish mood of I want to see in my life one person like on the street wear Sifd merchandise. Like if that happens, I'm like, what? I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be like, hey, it's me, I'm Sifd, hello. Like I was thinking about maybe doing a face reveal of that style. That was also something I was thinking about. Right? If I somehow see, but that's so hard to happen, right? Because I'm in Greece, and I don't know if you are a Greek watcher or whatever, but do Greeks buy merchandise of people that they watch? I think maybe they do. Like we have a team of that are called like Unboxholics or something, and I definitely know people that have merchandise from those guys. So theoretically they do. I don't know, man, but doesn't make sense. Does it make sense? Like when you're like a small-time YouTuber and you see somebody in the street that literally tells you, "Yo, I'm watching you," or "Yo, I'm wearing, you know, a T-shirt that is your T-shirt." Like this is like I don't know, a dream come true, so to speak. The fact that like I was a nobody. I'm still nobody, like in my eyes, of course, right? There are channels that are obviously the most famous thing in the universe, but I'm like. I don't mean it pessimistically, by the way. I don't have any kind of doubts about myself. I am super happy with my life. I do enjoy what I'm doing. But you know, from being literally just a random coder in a random Big 4 company, you know, that is what my life used to be. And like just a no name, another name on the list. Let's go with damage on lasting. Or, I mean, look at this. Multicast, damage on fire, or damage on lasting. I'm gonna go with damage on lasting because this is gonna give us more attack speed. More attack speed means more flame pillars. At least that's my opinion here. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Hopefully, couldn't it not have been damage on area? Look how much attack speed we have. 1.2% cooldown. We literally cannot even see what's happening. I mean, we can see what's happening, but you know what I mean. So yeah, like from not really, I guess from being another cog in the machine, which I still am, theoretically speaking. Sifd being hitting himself with a life crisis right here, middle of the video. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to also not offend anybody, because it feels like that I'm trying to talk down to people, but that's not what I'm doing. I used to be there too, right? And I was not really enjoying my life, and now we got here, and I'm like, what? This is just crazy, surreal, completely surreal. And I always like have the feeling that I want to talk with anybody that knows me. Like I want to talk with anybody that enjoys the channel and is like from close up, by the way, on the street or whatever. I'm not sure if I truly believe that, because people say that, you know, the more they know you, or it's weird when people talk you in the streets and just stop you and tell you, yo, I'm watching you, and they just start talking with you. People say that that's weird. I have heard stories from influencer friends of mine that said to me that I uploaded the story on Instagram, and then I was in some kind of... Well, let's go with let's go potency. Yeah, I uploaded a story of me being in a restaurant on Instagram, and then half an hour later, somebody came in the restaurant and told me, "Yo, are you not that guy? I saw your Instagram post, and I was close by to this restaurant, and I, you know, and I came over to say hi." Yeah, that's a bit weird, right? Am I wrong on this? Like, isn't this a bit weird? Although from the flip coin of that, right? From the side of the viewer. From the side of the viewer, I do understand it, right? Somebody that you know and you admire is literally, I don't know, half an hour away from you, and he just uploaded that he's there on the coffee. Wouldn't you be like, oh man, I can go there and meet him, you know, depending on how addicted to the content you are. Of course, if you're watching him, you know, once in a while a post, then okay, but if you're like a groupie, so to speak, I can't find a better word, that's why I'm saying groupie. Once again, if it is derogative or offensive, I am not really... how can you say it, simply put, without being a liar? English is not my native language, therefore I do not understand the implications of specific words under, you know, if they are appropriate. I think that's the best way of explaining this, right? Let's continue destroying opponents. So as I said, yeah, that's my only like doubt. This is what sipped doubts into me about doing the face reveal. The fact that I am not sure if because if you open the door, it never closes again, right? Like if you do a face reveal, it's over. It's forever done. So I don't know. It will most likely happen, okay? It will most likely happen whenever I'm dancing with something, whenever I'm struggling with a decision, and I'm not throwing the struggle away. I most of the time do it. This is also how this channel happened, by the way. This whole channel, this being my main focus of my life right now, this thing happened with me juggling with this channel for at least 3 to 6 months. Like when I became first, quote unquote, right, when I became famous, quote unquote, the first time, which was from Loop Hero Infinite Crazy Broken Runs, you know, classic Sifd case. I still was not sure about it. I still was like, should I transition over to full on YouTube? Should I do this? Should I try to chase it down, try to achieve something, you know, or should I just, you know, stay here in my comfy job where I'm not really doing that much and I still get paid and I'm not really gonna get fired, because that's not really how Big Four works. I mean, depending on where your Big Four is, but here in Greece the Big Fours don't really fire you unless something crazy happens. I don't know. So yeah, I was like, what should I do? A sure job, you know, become a high-ranked official. I don't know how to speak this, right? Like, stay in this company, raise the ranks, and then change company, raise the ranks over there, and then become a full-on coder, and at some point, you know, have a classic career for coding, or transition over to full-time YouTube. And you know what? After thinking about it for 3 to 6 months, talking it with parents and whatnot, and, you know, so many things were happening, I was like, you know what, the time has come, let's go over to YouTube. And guess what? After I flipped over to YouTube, inscription hit, and because I didn't have to, you know, follow the job and work whenever the job wanted it to, I was able to get a very quick run on a first win on the first run ever, right? And yeah, that was how the channel exploded pretty much. Inscription carried me because I was good at breaking a game that I had an understanding of how the mechanics work, because this is by definition what I do. By definition, I read everything. Sometimes I miss text, okay? Sometimes sometimes I miss the between the line reading, okay? I do that. But I read everything. I try to read everything at least. I try to gather as much data as possible. I think that is what's happening, actually. I do read everything, but because I'm literally reading everything, I'm missing a lot of things. I'm not like, I'm gonna read this specific skill. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read literally everything, right? So it makes sense that I'm trying to skim through text sometimes, right? Let's roll these, to be honest. Damage on burst. Let's take that. So yeah, that's what I do, and that's what brought me here. So if you also want to be successful, I think you have to learn your strengths. At least that's what I think. And my strengths are specifically explaining at depth, reading and understanding at depth, and explaining at depth. I'm not good though at retaining every single data. I will trim the info down in my brain, and then I'm gonna present it to you in a factual, actual manner. That's how pretty much function, and that works on gaming, because guess what? Games are actually that. I mean, not every single game is that. That's why I hate Soul games, right? Instantly unsubscribe. Souls games. I'm not really playing Souls games because those games are not that. Those games are not, I'm reading actual data. I'm reading, you know, what the stats do and what the spells do, and okay, we got it. I can now break the game. No, that game needs skill. That game needs you to be able to read opponents. That needs to, you know, it needs practice, experience and practice. I'm not an experience and practice guy. I am a find the best solution with the data given type of guy. So that's what I'm doing in the channel, right? If you haven't realized, let's roll these. I guess I can make the vicious strikes. That was not a good choice, but at least now we know that the first hit guaranteed is going now to apply weakness. But I have to say, this run is going pretty decent. Like, this run is going a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Also, I hope I'm not boring you guys with what a guy I am and what I have to say. Like, I don't know, man. I'm also a bit self-doubting on what I should and shouldn't say. I'm really afraid about this. That's the issue, though. That's the one issue. That because I have invested everything into YouTube, I'm always feeling so much of watch out what you say, because you never know. What you have now might be gone tomorrow. You know, that type of mentality, which isn't really healthy. At some point, I should stop doubting myself. Like, at some point, I should pull the trigger and be like, you know what? This is succeeding, and it will continue succeeding, and people enjoy it. Arian Magical, nice. So, stop doubting yourself and just continue having fun. Break the games like people want you to. And when Hades 2 pops out, hopefully we're gonna be good and fast enough to break the game faster than everybody else. Although, the thing with Hades is that so many people played Hades 1, where it's obvious that a lot of people have some kind of experience. But is that true, though? That's the thing I don't know. Because that's doubts sipping into me again. Because I definitely know how to play Hades. It's not really that much of a hard game. Let's go damage and everything, of course. Oh, we're dying. We're dying and we're not even able to see the apocalypse. Like, Hades is one of those games that it's both. It is reading comprehension, and not with the meaning specifically that, oh, I know how to read things. No, that's, I mean, that's a joke, of course. But reading comprehension with the meaning that, you know, these are the new skills and the new abilities and the new passives they provided us with in this new game that just launched, or is about to launch, or whatever. Which are the best ones, without having seen anybody, without having tested them, without having, you know, anybody, if anything at all. Like, with whatever data you have read, that is the only thing you can use to, you know, play the game. At that thing, I'm good. At reading and deciding and putting things into, you know, I guess, trash things, and realizing what is broken and busted and just straight up works and is powerful. I feel like I'm flexing a bit here. But I know my strengths, I guess, and my weaknesses, right? Which is that flex at that point? That's food for thought, by the way. If somebody knows himself and he knows his upsides and he also knows his downsides, but the other person, the person that is talking with him, doesn't know him, right? So I talk with you, I know my strengths, but you don't know me. Does it feel like I'm flexing? Or does it feel, because, you know, it is. If you think about it, it is saying things like, I have a good memory, right? That isn't flexing, that is factual. But I'm good at understanding the situation based on the data given. As long as the data given is all the data that the situation requires, I'm good at that. Is that flexing? Oh yeah, that is flexing. Because you're saying that you're smart or something? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just, I guess, quick on my feet, I would say. And that also applies, of course, in gathering data and knowledge. But I'm forgetful. You know, that's another downside, right? I am forgetful. I am, you know, putting things into a corner. Like, I will just say this does this, and that's it. Like, I'm just gonna call it whatever I think it is, and if I read something wrong, I will just straight up forever think that is what it actually says. And I get about a lot of comments about this, right? Read the skills correctly. Sifd, you know, when something says damage up, it actually also provides potency debuffs. That's a thing I didn't even know existed for a long while, right? At least I change opinions easily. I mean, that's a 50-50 right there. And changing opinions easily, 50-50, I would say, 50-50. Actually, the main thing that is happening is not that... Oh, 69, nice. The main thing that is happening is that I'm not really changing my opinions easily, because most of the time I have an opinion about something that is, I guess, complete. I have a complete opinion about something, because if I don't have a complete opinion about something, then I just don't have an opinion, right? Like, if you tell me, do you think bungee jumping is awesome? I'm gonna be like, I don't know. Like, I factually don't know. I don't have an opinion on it because I haven't tried it. Therefore, my opinion is not complete. Therefore, I just don't have an opinion, right? Because it's something that has to do with feeling. But if you give me a data about, like, how can I say this? Is Fire Pillar a good skill? I'm gonna say I don't know. But if you give me 20 skills and I read them all, I'm gonna be able to understand if the Fire Pillar is good or not, depending on, you know, reading the cooldowns, reading the damage, reading the mechanics, trying to understand things, right? That's what I mean to say. Let's ziggy-zaggy through. Let's get opponents here, and let's continue. Let's see how this... Whoa! Zigzag through. And because that is a fact, because I am, you know, understanding of what I know, because I know what I know, and the reasons why I believe in things is because I know about them, right? So I understand, so I read something, or I learn something, or I hear something, I filter it, and then I filter it based on logic, and then because it is filtered based on logic, and because my beliefs are based on logic, if you disagree with me, by definition, I have already thought about the reasons of why my opinion is correct and why yours is not, because my opinion is based on logic anyway. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm not saying my opinion is always correct. Logic does not mean correct. Logic means that it's not driven by feelings. That's what I mean with logic. It's more like, this is my opinion, and it's based on this factual data. Then if the other person is good at disputing the factual data, right, that's the main point of being able to convince me. If you dispute the base factual data I have in my mind, if you tell me like, nope, actually recycling isn't good because this and this and this and this and this and this data actually says the opposite, and here, you know, if you want to, and then you tell me go read that thing online and see if you still believe the same thing, and then I will actually go online, read that thing that I've been told, and if that is actually true and my data is wrong, okay, I guess recycling isn't really a thing, it's a lie, or you know, whatever I have an opinion on. If you can, I guess, if you can change, not change, but if you can change my, if you can change my data, or give me new data, right? If you give me new data that change my opinion, if you try to change my opinion just because of changing my opinion, just because of out of feelings, it's just very hardly gonna happen. Now, if you tell me that that's my opinion and that's yours, I'm gonna agree with it. Like, I have lately decided I did not used to do that. I did not used to allow people, quote unquote allow. I was unrestful. That's what I'm gonna say. I was unrestful when people had some opinions that were quote unquote wrong, like factually wrong, because some opinions can be factually wrong, right? There are things that are factually wrong opinions. I'm not saying you're not allowed to have a wrong opinion, okay? You are allowed to have any opinion you have, but it might be wrong, right? It might be factually wrong. You are allowed to believe that the earth is flat, right? But just saying, by the way, that was both area on the Bloodless, but, you know, just saying, it's factually wrong. You're still allowed to believe it. I'm not gonna say you're a bad person because you believe it. I'm not gonna hate you because you believe it. You're not gonna convince me, right? But you're still allowed to believe it, right? I used to be opposite than that. I used to be very combative with people that had extremely bad opinions about things that had a factual answer. Because if something doesn't have a factual answer, right, if an opinion is like this movie's better than that, then okay, then we're talking about something completely different. Then of course anybody can have his opinion. You know, at that point we are disagreeing about, not even disagreeing, right? At that point we're just saying our opinions. Nobody disagrees about a movie being good or not and is actually fighting with other people. I take the nobody back, by the way. Everything is done by everybody at some point. So okay, maybe people do disagree for that, but I don't care about that. I will not disagree about something that I think is factually what is it called, subjective, right? If something is factually subjective, I will not disagree with you on it. I'm just gonna be like, okay, we can talk about it. I can tell you my opinion, you can tell me yours, but we're not gonna disagree about it. But if it's something that's about the factual thing, I was always gonna disagree about it. People were hating me about it. People were just stop talking, you know. People were telling me to, you know, we don't care, man, we don't care. Or they were telling me that's your opinion, and that's mine. And I used to be like, what are you talking about, man? It's not about opinions. It's about facts. The earth is flat, you know, the earth is round. I give sus. Sifd said the earth is flat. Wait a minute, is it a flat earth? No, I was like, you know, what are you talking about, man? How can you believe that the earth is, you know, flat? How can you believe that thing? That's how I used to be. And I always continued asking questions again and again and again and again. You know, I was never stopping asking questions about how a person could believe something that is factually wrong. And at this point, I'm not doing it anymore. I've decided that some people just don't filter opinions based on logic. It's as simple as that. Is that bad? No. We just don't mix. I mean, now that I'm not even disagreeing with them anymore, now we do mix, right? That's the whole point of this. I realized how I'm functioning with people. I realized how I'm becoming tiring to people. And I am now actually avoiding doing that, right? And I think that's good. And I think everybody should do that. I think everybody should look into... I don't know, man, I guess personalities, so to speak. Like, just look into yourself and look into other people, because that's how at least I improved. Not specifically by looking into myself, into my own personality. I started looking into every single other personality, trying to understand, because what happened to me is like, quote-unquote, an epiphany. I was like, wait a minute, if my personality is like this, let me actually look up some other personalities and see what are the others. Even if it's a lie, right? Even if everything is a lie, even if it's not factual, even if it's not proven psychologically, like even let's say those things are not actually true. Like even then, if some things, not everything, if some things are true for me, or if most things are true for me, right? Because for me a lot of things are true about the personalities. So if most of the things about me are true, then wouldn't it be a normal assumption to think that some things, if not a lot of things, but some things at least are true for our personalities, right? Maybe some people do think their mind does function exactly like those, you know, sheets of paper say, like those videos say. That might be true, because when you read them, you're like, no, man, this is a horoscope. This is like horoscope. This is not the same thing. No, it's like horoscope, it's just random things. Yeah, but when you read about yourself and you see that so many things are true, you might say, yeah, that's like horoscope. Horoscope is also a bunch of things true. Yeah, but when you start reading the other personalities, you don't believe that they're true for you. That's the big difference, in my opinion. Like, you start reading some things that other people, quote-unquote, think or function like, and you're like, do people really do that? Do people really not have feelings? Do people really not have empathy? Do people really not... don't live in the moment? Do people really daydream? Do people really have to have a schedule about everything and anything, and when there isn't any schedule they feel worse? Do people really get anxious about deadlines? Do people really not get anxious about deadlines? Because that's me, for example. I never get anxious about deadlines. If anything, deadlines give me power or make me push myself. Like, I do function under pressure. So that is a thing. That is a thing. People are different in a lot of ways, in a lot of different ways. And after I realized that, if these things are true for me, then the other things that seem completely illogical and irrational to me will be true for them, right? Like how I feel like in most circumstances, you shouldn't let your feelings decide. That's like my opinion. That's how I have functioned my whole way. The same flip coin, people can be the opposite, right? We lost a life here. The people can easily be, I can't, man, do everything with logic. I don't feel right. It doesn't feel right to me, right? Some people might listen to the logic, agree with you, literally tell you, yep, I do understand. I do understand that plastic, you know, once again, the recycling example. I do understand that recycling doesn't do anything, but I will still continue doing it. Like, and then you're like, but you don't have a reason. And they're like, no, I do believe in it. Although you're telling me what you're telling me, although you showed me that video or that, you know, that what is it called? That, I don't know, man, that paper. Yeah, although you showed me that paper that has been done, and that research that has been done, although I do believe you, Sifd, that yes, that thing is actually factual. Yes, I guess recycling is not a thing. I will still recycle because I believe it is helping the planet, and I believe that I want to continue recycling. By the way, recycle, everybody, right? I do also recycle. I'm just giving this as an example that has happened to me. Like, I was talking with a person, this discussion has happened. Once again, recycle, guys. It helps. I mean, I'm not sure if it does. I mean, until somebody else now comes along and gives me even more new data about if it does. I mean, I don't know, man. I am not an anti-Earth guy, by the way. I do want that we save the Earth and that the Earth doesn't burn down, right? I actually do want the Earth to exist. I am full-on pro environment. But I'm also full-on pro don't do things that got pushed to you through media companies and whatever else. I don't know what's behind it. I mean, I would say it's a conspiracy theory, but at this point, I don't even know if it's a conspiracy theory or if it's just capitalism at work, right? let's convince the people that plastic is good, therefore we're gonna be able to sell more plastic. You know, I don't think there even needs to be a conspiracy theory about this. This isn't even a long drawn out idea here, opinion, right? Like, isn't this the most normal thing you would think, right? Like, if a company can make money out of oil or plastic, wouldn't they be incentivized to tell you that oil isn't really that bad for the environment, and also plastic isn't really that bad of the environment, or that you know, plastic recycling does help, therefore everything's good. You know, plastic isn't permanent on this earth. Nope, microplastics is not a thing, right? Like, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. And once again, if somebody else presents me with new data, or somebody, you know, gets me more convincing points and papers and whatever that actually say the opposite, that, you know what, actually, if you think about it, the companies that say that recycling is the bad thing are actually the companies that are, those are the liars, because in reality it is a good thing and it works, right? If you tell me that thing, I'm gonna instantly change my opinion, because that's how I function. I don't really care about my opinion that I had a year ago, because I care about always having the correct opinion. That's the most important thing to me, like having the correct opinion. The only thing that is the downside with that is that you know, if you have a personality like that always wants to have a right opinion, you feel like other people also want that, which isn't true. Like, not everybody wants to have the correct opinion. A lot of people want to have their opinion, right? I don't want to have a universally correct opinion. I just want to have my opinion. I want to be myself, you know. I want to be, I want to whatever, you know. I can give an example right now, because, you know, I'm going into a rant here, and when I do rants, I'm hard at finding examples. But I think everybody understands what I mean, right? I think a lot of people are resonating with what I'm saying, or not resonating, or understanding at least, right? Because I think I try to pull in opinions from different corners and try to explain. So I think everybody got what I meant. And if you did, drop a like. No, I'm kidding. Comment down below and tell me. I mean, drop a like, but comment down and tell me about it. Like, I want to hear opinions about these. I do really enjoy talking about these things. And honestly, I should really start the podcast, to be honest. I need to find some kind of podcast host alongside me, or maybe a podcast host in general. Whoa, we're dying. Or maybe, I don't know, man. I need somebody for a podcast that I definitely vibe with, because I need somebody that is open-minded, that can discuss any opinion with me without all the time disagreeing with me, right? I need somebody that is also, you know, has a different outlook on life, for sure, but also understands that logic is important in a podcast. I don't want to have somebody that's like, well, I believe that even if it isn't that much, at least it is good. I don't know, man. Maybe somebody with different opinions. I mean, I want different opinions, but they have to be easily logically explained, so to speak. I don't know, man. I want the golden goose. I want somebody that is close to my personality, I guess. I don't know. Not close to my personality. We don't need... Well, we died. We died. It is what it is. We got 3 million damage. Okay, billion. We got 3 billion damage. This was a good one. Nice. I'm super happy about it. My DPS was at 1 million, which is on the lower end, but we got the 3 billion here, so very nice. I really enjoyed this. What a good run. We did the Apocalypse build. Let's also not forget to change the settings here for later, the next run or whatever. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like beside the channel. If you want to talk about anything I talked about, just do it. Let's maybe begin with a random podcast while I'm playing Soulstone Survivors. And also, if you hated what just happened, if you hated me talking about random things and not the game, comment down below and tell me about that too, so I know that we have some haters. No, I'm kidding. So I know, you know, what opinions are. I'm always calling out about people discussing the opinions with me, but I also want to call out the people that, you know, don't enjoy me talking about, what is it called, podcasts, or even people that just want to tell me, you know, we do enjoy the podcast, you know, or everything. Every single opinion is welcome, because I do want to know what people think, literally. Anyway, that is going to be it for the day. Once again, thanks for watching, and see you guys around.